Hari Om. Namaste. This is Dr. P.N. Prabhavati, faculty of School of Kala Yoga. On behalf of the Kala Samvada team, I welcome you all to the 21st episode of Kala Samvada, Conversations on Art. Let us start with an invocation. Sada Shiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Vande Guru Parampara. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Palakkad K. Jayakrishnan, staff artist of All India Radio, Thrissur, with us. Before going to the topic, let me give a very brief introduction about Jayakrishnan ji. Palakkad K. Jayakrishnan started learning Mridangam at the age of 9 from Kolangod Vishwanatha Iyer. Later, he continued his learning under Sri K.P. Krishna Poduval and Pollachi Govindarajan, who himself was a disciple of Padani Subramanian Pillai. His first performance Arangetam was at the age of 12 at Guruvayur Temple and won many appreciation. He enhanced his strong foundation and achieved proficiency in playing the Palakkad Bani under the tutelage of Palakkad R. Sheshamani for over a decade. He joined All India Radio Thrissur in 1991 as a staff artist. Later, he took advanced training under Palakkad T.R. Rajamani, son and disciple of Mridangam Maestro Palakkad Mani Iyer. He took his postgraduate degree in commerce and later took his doctorate in Mridangam on the topic playing Mridangam in the forms in Carnatic music with special reference to Tanjavur, Palakkad and Padani schools. Jayakrishnan ji has a wide range of experience as an accompanying artist since he could accompany for vocal, violin, flute, veena, chitraveena, saxophone, dilruba and jalataranga. Also, he has toured many countries with his instrument. Dr. Jayakrishnan ji has received many awards and titles from prestigious institute organizations. I'm just listing a few. Kerala Sangeet Nataka Academy Award in 2009, Palakkad Mani Iyer Memorial Award in 2010, Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham Asthana Vidwan in 2010, and won merit certificates in Akashvani Annual Awards for 4 years, 1992, 93, 95, and 1996. Vadiratna from Nalanda Dance and Research Institute. He has also served as a Board of Studies member of Kerala Kalamandalam. And I'm happy to say that currently he is a BOS member of our university as well. Another thing is that our Jayakrishnan ji himself is a Chinmaya family member. He himself was working in a Chinmaya college and his wife was working in a Chinmaya school. His children, both children are studying in Chinmaya schools. And so on behalf of the entire Kala Samvada team, I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Jayakrishnan ji to this session.
Yeah.
Today, he will be talking on the topic, role of Mridangam in Carnatic music. Now, may I request Jayakrishnan ji, before going to the main topic, could you please start with a very brief description on the structure of a traditional Mridangam and the newer versions like nut bolt Mridangam, fiber Mridangam, etc. And what is the difference in the tuning techniques of these traditional ones and the newer versions? Jayakrishnan ji, over to you.
Hari Om. Good evening, one and all. Thank you, Prabhavati ji, for introducing me. I'm extremely proud to be here because Prabhavati ji already told you that I'm a Chinmaya family member. It's my great pleasure. And according to my knowledge, Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeetham University, PT University, is doing a vital role in the preservation and encouragement of classical art forms, especially Carnatic music and other instruments. So it is a very good initiative for the preservation of this art and culture of ours. So before going to our topic, I express my gratitude to the organizers of Kalasamada and Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeetham University. Thank you all. So the topic given to me is the role of Mridangam in Carnatic music. Before going to deep into the subject, I wish to say just a few things about Mridangam. So you'll be knowing what is Mridangam. Mridangam is considered to be the king of percussion instruments. As we said like this, there is a reason. I will explain you. King of percussion instruments is a prominent Carnatic instrument used in Harikatha Kalashepams, dance performance, and nowadays, especially for Carnatic music concerts. So, Carnatic music you'll be knowing, is a vast ocean, and as such, Mridangam is considered to be the king, because when we are going through fusion music or like that, the leading instrument will be Mridangam, because that much intricacies of laya is there in the study and the playing technique also. So this is considered as a king of percussionism. And what is the Mridangam? Mridangam is a Sanskrit word. It's a Mrid plus Angam. Mrid means clay and Angam means instrument. So in olden days, the Mridangam was prepared by a clay frame. Mridangam is used. The Mridangam making is, and the making process is done by using clay. When for the travel purpose, it feels difficult, then the process changed to use of wood. That is, nowadays, normally jackfruit frames are used. It's a cylindrical instrument, cylindrical model instrument, and it is closed on both sides with animal skin. And three types of animal skins are used, because dried animal skin, that is cow skin and goat skin and buffalo skin. So these three types of skins are used for the making of Mridangam, and it is having two sides, left hand side and right hand side. The left hand side of Mridangam is called Topi side, and the right hand side is called Alankara side. And on the Alankara side, one more peculiar feature is there, because you'll be knowing a black portion, that is Karana or Shatam. It will be called Karana or Shatam, and in Malayalam it will be called as Choru. Okay, and this is made out by mixing the powder of manganese along with rice, boiled rice. Okay, this is used mainly for the metallic tone. You have to get the metallic tone. Okay, so these two mixed together, and a paste is made, and this powder and boiled rice. This is applied on the right hand side, which is called the Alankara side. And for the combining of both these sides, the laces are used. That is, before that, laces are made out of buffalo skin. Now it has changed by using ropes, plastic ropes, etc. And again, now on the evolution of Mridangam, now we are using nut and bolt Mridangam, nut and bolt. So it is detachable. This left side and right side, both are detachable, and it will loosen and tighten by using the spanner like that. So
it
tuning
will be easy to carry.
Yeah, easy to carry. And suppose anything happens on one side, we can easily remove and replace it. That is the main easiness. Okay. So this is the structure of Mridangam. And you'll be knowing about the Shrudis. That is male Shrudi, female Shrudi, and instrumental Shrudi. So there are three types of Mridangams are there. Male Shrudi Mridangams, which is called Tagga Mridangams, and female Shrudi, that is H Mridangams, and instrumental Mridangam. Normally, male Shrudi Mridangams will be from half arakata, half note to 2, that is D. And instrumental Shrudi will be from D to F, that is 2 to 4. And above 4, it will be H Mridangam, that is female Mridangam. So these three types of Mridangams are used for the concert purposes. Okay. Then I wish to say that Mridangam is a Tala instrument. So you should know about the meaning Talam. So what is Talam? And what is the origin of the term Talam? So, and if even though we are using Talam, Rhythm, and Layam, these three words interchangeably, but there is distinct difference among all these three words. That is Talam, Rhythm, and Layam. Simply speaking, rhythm is considered as the total time taken for the completion of a particular job. It can be treated as rhythm, the total time taken for the completion. Whereas Layam denotes the speed of that particular work. The speed of that particular work. It is Layam. In musical terms, Tala means a continuous rhythmic cycle. Continuous rhythmic cycle. That is Tala. And when we are going through the origin of the word Tala, there is two types of distinct ways are there. That is, one is based on our tradition, and the other is based on our science. When going through the tradition, we can say that Tala is the word derived from Tandavam and Lasyam. That is the first word of Tandavam, Ta, and the first word of Lasyam, La. That is the god of Paramashiva used to dance, which is called Tandava. And the dance of Parvati Devi, his wife, is called Lasya. And these two words together, that is Ta, Lam, it began as Talam. On the other hand, Talam can be defined as the word derived from a Latin word tali, which means clapping with hands or clapping with palms. Clapping with hands or clapping with palms. But simple clapping or simple putting one clap will not become a Tala. So we can define Tala as it's a continuous process of clapping with the hands at equal intervals. So Tala, this can be treated as a definition for Tala. It's a continuous clapping of Tala at equal intervals. Tala. Okay. So Mridangam is considered as a prominent Tala instrument used in Carnatic music field.
Yeah, so in this point, I would like to ask something, that is, Matra, Aksharam, and Aksharagalam. These are the most common terms used while discussing Rhythm. Yet they are often very confusingly used instead of one another. Can you please explain these terms for the benefit of?
Still, there are so many confusions regarding these three words, aksharam, matra, and aksharagaram. According to me, aksharam means 4 beats. Akshara means beat. Suppose for the Adi Talam, you'll be knowing Adi Talam, that is 8 beats. So we will treat it as 8 aksharas. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 beats or 8 aksharas. When we are adding so many letters into it, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 into 4, that is 32 matras. And as far as I am concerned, I have studied that matras and akshara columns are the same, whereas akshara is different. So Aditalam is having 8 aksharas or 32 akshara columns or 32 matras. That is my study.
Then being an accompanying artist, could you please give an introduction about the qualities of a good accompanying artist?
Of course. See, you'll be knowing the role of Mridangam in music, Carnatic music concerts. Mridangam plays a prominent role in the music concert. So, the qualities of a Mridangam artist can be, first of all, the Mridangam artist should have the keen sense of rhythm. Keen sense of rhythm. Means in Malayalam, Krityamaya Talabodham. Okay. Then, he should have affinity to Shruti. That is, suppose an instrument is tuned. Okay. When it will be played by different persons, sometimes the Shruti will feel like changing. So, affinity to Shruti in touching the instrument, in playing the instrument should be there. Okay. Then, another point is,
such differences happening, G? That is
because of the difference in force given by each person. Okay, the same instrument which has already tuned to a certain pitch, if hands changes, sometimes we felt like Shruti changes. Okay, then the foremost thing is Kala Pramana Shuddhata, that is keeping the right tempo. This is the main quality a Mridangam artist should be having. The keen sense of rhythm, Kala Pramana Shuddha, that is keeping the right tempo. Then precision should be there, precise in playing. Then very good observation should be there. That is, observation is a must for every art. A good observer can become a good director of a film. A good observer can become a good singer. A good observer can become a good actor. Just like observation is a must for a good accompanying artist. Then imagination should be there. That is imagination. That is in accordance with the main artist's imagination. Then a good Mridangam artist should have understand in a split of a second the tempo of the song, that is the speed of the song, and the structure of the song, and imagine of the main artist. Then he should have the adaptability, then versatility of the co-artist. He should know about the versatility of the co-artist. He should be well aware of the rhythmic patterns contained in the songs. Then he should give the right silence in the right places. That is when, that our Mahaguru Palghat Maniyar says, one good Mridangam artist should when to play, what to play, and how to play. Okay, and when hard strokes can be used, when small touches is needed. Okay, then beautiful right-left combination should be there for a good mridangam artist. You'll be knowing the grace on the left side, which is called the gumki. That is the graces given by the artist on the left hand side of the mridangam. It's called gumki. So it flourishes the songs. Okay, then a good mridangam artist must have immediate transformation ability according to the style of the main artist, because our playing should be different for each singer.
Styles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different musicians will be coming.
Yeah. So according to the style of the main artist, we should have immediate transformation ability. We should transform according to the style of the main artist. Okay. Then lastly, we can say that brevity and pinpoint accuracy should be there in his playing, his or her playing. Okay. So in short, we can say a good mridangam artist should be the one who beautifully blends sound, scholarship, sense, and silence in his playing. Okay.
Yes, that's a wonderful answer.
He should give pauses whenever necessary. Okay.
Silence is very important.
Because sometimes there should be prominence should be given to the vocal. Then our playing should be less. And sometimes we have to sit silent for some time to beautify the kriti or beautify the compositions. So in short, we can conclude that a good mridangam artist will be the one who beautifully blends four S's: sound, scholarship, sense, and silence in his playing. Okay.
Thank you. That 4 S's is a very catchy word and very wonderful answer. And it was easy for everyone to remember also. Yeah. So while saying this, I would like to ask you something. That is, when we sit on stage, being a vocalist, I have noticed that when we start a varnam, which is a preset composition, normally the mridangam artist plays according to the way the varnam is moving. So even if it is a new varnam,
okay.
So is there any playing technique for such a composition that is like varnam?
See, accompanying a varnam is fully based on the accompanying artist's experience and his knowledge and his hearing habit. So to know how to accompany is hear, and hear the music. Hearing is more important. I think, I trust that hearing is more important than study. So listening to music is very, very important. So hear, and hear. That is the easiest way for knowing the nuances of varna. Every varna should be a structure. Okay. So only by hearing, we'll be in a position to know how to accompany a varnam. That the playing techniques is varna should be played just like the varnam, not like the kirtanam. So its structure should be known. Where to give pauses, where to give stress, where to we play the second column, that is a higher speed. Okay, everything, and we have to give the suitable phrases in accordance with the varna. That phrases will be called cholkette. You'll be knowing cholkette. It's a Tamil word, cholkette. That is the phrases played in mridangam. It's called cholkette. So we have to choose and use the apt and suitable cholkettes for the varna. Okay, and sometimes while playing for varnam, good meet kaigal should also be used. Okay, So Varnam should be accompanied like Varnam only. No other things. No chance of improvisation. That is the main thing. We can
could you
improvise.
please demonstrate with some cholas or something like that for?
Then you have to sing a Varnam. Then only I can.
Yeah. Okay. So especially when you come to the Charanam portion.
Yeah.
So
you can sing a little one or two lines. That I will spell it.
Yeah. So if we start, we have some beginner students also joined here. So I think it is better to sing that Mohanam Varnam when you come to the Charana portion.
Okay. You can sing.
Sanutanga Srinivasa
Ta din ta ta din ta 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 din ta ta
Tre sa tre da tre da sa tre kari.
That while you are singing the Swara portions, our accompaniment should be like Swara only.
Yes.
That's main thing.
Yeah, what I have experienced,
no filling process will be made there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that silence is very important.
Yeah. That accompanying artist should be always with you.
Yes.
Okay. We should follow you like a shadow. That's main thing. Okay. Especially for the Varnam. No improvisation chances are there for the accompanying artist. Improvisation, the main peculiar feature of our music, Indian music, especially Indian music, North Indian and South Indian, is improvisation. What is the meaning of the improvisation? It is the creation of music on the stage or during the course of performance. It's improvisation. Okay. And I think there are three mainly, as far as we are concerned, Carnatic music concerned, there are three types of improvisations are there. Musical content improvisation, structural improvisation, then musical content, then structural, and one more is there, contextual improvisation. Contextual. That is, musical content improvisation means one who improvises during the course of the raga singing. That is musical content improvisation. Is a good example for musical content improvisation. Whereas the changes made during the course of performance of Kritis, it can be treated as structural improvisation. Okay. And what is the contextual improvisation? That is the changes made during the course of performance at the time of singing the Swara Prasaras. That is contextual. Okay. So there is no chance for improvisation while accompanying for Varnam.
In your opinion, nowadays, normally we use Varnam as a concert opener, but nowadays you can see that people started singing Varnam as a main item also. So what is your opinion on that?
Actually, I trust and follow the traditional format of a music concert because we are having a good tradition, a big tradition, a rich tradition. So in my opinion, we should follow the tradition. Traditional classical art forms are based on tradition. Tradition has a big value. That before, without thinking or without looking back, we can't move up forward. That is my opinion. So we should stick on tradition. So I support a traditional format of a concert because why we are starting a concert with a Varnam. Varnam is considered as a warm-up piece. Am I right? A warm-up piece. So for getting a good start, okay, see, before starting a marathon, why an athlete is warm-upping? In order to get a good start and a good end. Am I right? So like this, we should be aware of the tradition and they should follow the tradition. That is my view.
That's a very good answer. And sir, is there any difference in the playing techniques for vocal, like music concert and dance performance?
Of course. Because in music concert, we are playing the instruments as a frontline accompaniment. Right? Frontline accompaniment. Whereas in dance, it's a backline accompaniment. That's the main thing. And in addition, for accompanying a music concert or while accompanying a music concert, we should be going through or going along with the music, along with the musician. Okay, along with the singer. Okay, while in dance, the mridangam playing goes through along with the dance performer, not the singer. By looking through the legs of the dance performer, we should perform. That's the main thing. So, in dance performance, we are not following the main singer. So, we are following the performer. Yeah, that is the main difference. So, importance should be there for the performer and not for the singer. Whereas in music concert, the main artist will be the main portion artist.
And I think for a dance performance, we need, like as a mridangam artist, you may need more practice sessions.
Of course. Rehearsals will be there, and this is just like I think a pre-planned performance for the dance. Whereas in music concert, we are not planning
directly
anything.
Come to stage and perform.
Yeah, we are not planning in advance, and we are just following and improvising on the stage. But the improvisation is not possible while accompanying for a mridangam, while accompanying for the dance performance. It is a pre-planned portions will be there, and pre-rehearsal portions will be there. If the mridangam player makes any changes, it will be very difficult for the performance to continue his performance. It will curtail his idea. The performance idea will be curtailed by the improvisation by the mridangam artist.
Yeah, and I saw that it is mentioned in your profile that you have gone through Gurukula Sampradaya training under your guru. So, what is your opinion about Gurukula Sampradaya training, and could you please share some thoughts?
Of course. I think nowadays it is the study of art became in an academic level process. There is a difference in Chinmaya Vishwavidyapith. That is, you are doing a vital role by, according to my knowledge, by mixing this academic level along with a Gurukula environment, I think.
Yes.
That is a very, very good idea. And I congratulate the persons behind this process. And while telling about Gurukula system, we have to go through the different styles of playing, because a particular Bani gets generated only from a perfect Gurukula system. So we should know what is a Bani. Bani means the style of singing or style of playing. So a Bani generates only through a perfect Gurukula environment or perfect Gurukula system. So the Gurukula system plays a prominent role in molding and shaping and imbibing the deep knowledge of any art to the Shishyas. Thereby, each disciple will become a strict follower of each school. Am I right? Okay. And when we can say, what are the advantages of Gurukula system? When a student practices the lessons, and so before going there, what is Gurukula system? It is a system where Shishyas stays along with the Guru in their home and study continues. Up to the end of the study, he will be there along with the Guru for years. So when a student practices the lessons over and over, he gets new ideas every time he plays. Here, Guru plays a key role, a prominent role in converting the student to a performer. Okay, a student should not end up playing anything he likes. The Guru should correct the student when he plays a phrase or the tala. Okay, so correction will be done there, then and there. Whereas in academic sessions, not like that. And so many masters will be there. Different styles will be there. So the student will get confused. He can't stick on a particular style. Okay. But when he stays along with his Guru, all the corrections will be made and he can follow the same path. It's the same style or the same bani of to which his Guru belongs. Okay. Our music always needs a Guru. For what? Basically for this, that is to direct the disciple. That is for what should be done and what should not be done. So Gurula system is having many more advantages. Okay. So according to Vishwavidyapeetham, I think it's a beautiful blend of these two. That is academic level along with Gurukula system. That is the students are studying each art under the Gurukula environment.
Yes, sir.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's a very, very good attempt.
Yes, I also feel blessed to be a part of this.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Because in Gurukula system, there is no a particular syllabus. Whereas in academic system, a syllabus will be there. So the syllabus also can be covered. And theoretical knowledge will be imbibed.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the main difference.
And sir,
so both theory and practical will be studied by the students, Shishyas.
So you just explained about different banis. Could you please go more deeper into different banis?
Of course. That is, bani means a particular style of singing or playing an instrument. Okay. Whereas school can be defined as an institution. Am I right? Okay. So a bani can be generated only by the study of an art under the single Guru. But the Shishya should not imitate the Guru. He should not merely copy the Guru. Okay. He must have, the Shishyas must have an insight. Okay.
And you discussed about different banis, Palakkad Bani, Thanjavur Bani.
Okay. There are primarily, basically there are three types of, two types of banis are there. There is Thanjavur Bani and Pudukkottai Bani. Thanjavur Bani is started by Thanjavur Vaidyanath Iyer. That is only after Thanjavur Vaidyanath Iyer, that style is termed as Thanjavur Bani. And Pudukkottai, one Mridanga Vidwan was there, Man Mundiya Pillai. He is the founder of that style, that is Pudukkottai Bani. Okay. And nowadays, so many other banis are generated after imbibing every good things from these two banis. That is Palakkad Bani is there, Palani Bani is there, Andhra Bani is there, so many types. And Palakkad Bani is a continuation of Thanjavur Bani, whereas Palani Bani is a continuation of Pudukkottai Bani. Why
difference in playing?
Why Palakkad and Palani says that Palani Subramanya Pillai, he is the torchbearer of Pudukkottai Bani, and Palakkad Mani Iyer is a torchbearer of Tanjavur Bani. Now we can come to the style difference. In Palakkad Bani, the artists are using more mathematical intricacies. Okay, the influence of mathematics will be more. Whereas in Payani Bani, instead of mathematical intricacies, they are using so many common syllables, that is Sarvelekhu. Okay, Sarvelekhu. So what is the meaning of the term Sarvelekhu? Can you heard of Sarvelekhu? Sarvam Lekhu. Sarvam means common. Lekhu means making symbol. So, see, commonly accepted and simplified. That is the style of Pudukkottai Bani. And I have done my research in these three schools. That is Tanjavur school, Palakkad school, and Payani school. And so many factors are there which affecting the difference in bodies. When we are doing a comparative analysis to bring out the differences in playing the Mridangam techniques or the Mridangam playing, it can be done on the basis of the following points. That is regarding origin of schools, then production of sound also there, fingering techniques will be different, then tonal modulations will be different, influence of other percussion instruments, then regarding the pauses given, then when playing with the Upapakavadyas, that is supporting instruments, then the use of some special phrases, that is Solketus and use of Gomkis, and use of some strokes which are Janda strokes. Janda means repeated strokes. Then application of mathematics, that is Kanaka, and so many points, so many factors which will be affecting these differences.
Could you please demonstrate with some chollas or something like that?
Of course. When playing and some phrases, vocalization also will be different, because in Palakkad Bani, when we are using, see, takadime, it's a Sarvelekhu piece, common piece. This will be used in the Pudukkottai Bani as takadime, takajono. So from the very beginning, from the basic lessons, it will be differs. Okay. Then tattit tagadana dattim, when uses in Palakkad Bani, tattit tagajono dattam in Pudukkottai Bani. So in phrases different, some fingering techniques that will be played on a mridangam. Fingering techniques will be there. Then application of mathematics, so many differences are there.
So according to the cholla, what you have demonstrated right now, will there be difference in playing as well in that particular cholla?
Little differences will be there. Yeah. Then, for example, when a stroke Nam plays in Palakkad Bani, Nam plays singly with one hand, and whereas in Pudukkottai Bani, it uses also the left hand. Nam along with Dom. So it will be little more effective. So every style is having their own limitations and plus points. Okay, then that is application of Dom with Nam is very rare in Palakkad Bani, whereas in Pudukkottai always uses Nam along with Dom. There's a simple difference. Then while accompanying in Palakkad Bani, they are using more pauses to enhance or to beautify the kritis. Because whereas in Payani Bani, there will not be any pauses. Continuous playing will be there. There is full Sarvelekhu. There will be no pauses. Okay, so both bodies are different, but see, Mysore Pak is sweet, whereas Laddu is also a sweet. Some likes Mysore Pak, some other persons like Laddu. I like both. That's it. That's the thing.
It's a wonderful
Okay.
answer.
Okay.
Yes. And could you please explain how to build Coreways?
Okay. So before going to that, you should know what is Korwa. Korwa is a mathematical pre-composed portion played in course of Taniyavartanam. It's a pre-composed composition. Okay, that is not an improvisational thing, but a pre-composed composition. It will be used during the course of playing the Taniyavartanam. You'll be knowing what is Taniyavartanam. There is a percussion solo performances made by the percussion artist during the course of the concert. For the main item, in between the main item, the main artist allows the percussion artist to show his caliber. That time is called Taniyavartanam. Taniyavartanam means continuous. Yeah. So during the course of Taniyavartanam, we'll be using the Korwa. Korwa is the mathematical pre-composed composition, which is a blend of some cholkatus on the first part and a tatikinatom including part on the second part. That is Korwa. Because a simple example of Korwa, takadina ding, takadina ding, takadina ding, tatikitaton, tatikitaton, tatikitaton da. So this takadina ding is a cholle, whereas tatikitaton is a tatikitaton, which is called Panjajati tatikitaton. There are 5 jadis are there. There is Tishram, Chadishram, Ghandam, Mishram, and Sankirnam. So we are using tatikitaton in all the jadis. That is tatikitaton. Ghanta Jati Tatikitatom, Tadikitatom, that is Tisra Jati Tatikitatom, Tatikitatom, Mishra Jati Tatikitatom, Tadikitatom, Chadasha Jati Tatikitatom, Tatikitatom, Sankirna Jati Tatikitatom. So we can use any of the Jati Tatikitatom in the second part, and some phrases on the first part we can create Korwas. See, takadina ding, takadina ding, takadina ding, tatikitaton, tatikitaton, tatikitaton. This is a Korwa which is having 36 matras. Takadina ding, takadina ding, takadina ding. Then 3 sevens, 3 sevens, 21. Tatikitaton, tatikitaton, tatikitaton. 5 into 3, that is 15. 21 plus 15, 36 matras. We can change it to another takadina ding, takadina ding, takadina ding, that dim, that iketaton, that dim, that iketaton, that dim, that iketaton, da. So the first portion remains the same and the second portion changes. 3 nines. So 3 nines are 27. So 21 plus 27, 48 matra. So this Korwa is having 48 matra. Like that. Okay.
Yes. In between, I wanted to communicate to our audience that is, there are 2 links given in the chat box. One is for Telegram and one is for WhatsApp. These are 2 dedicated groups for this Kala Samvada session. Okay. Requesting you all to join join in these groups. And I think, if any of you have any queries, you can please post here. We'll take up that. Yeah. And as a last question, because the time is going to be 7. Okay. So let me ask you one more question. That is, what is the playing technique for Ragam Tanam Pallavi? Is there any methodology to be followed for that?
Okay. See, Ragam Tanam Pallavi is a very advanced form of performing a concert. I think so. RTP, that is Ragam Tanam Pallavi. So, the main artist, suppose a singer have the limitations while singing the kirtanams. Okay, but he or she can prove his entire caliber by singing an RTP, because the ragam is very free for them. The Tanam is also, they can improvise in all the parts, Ragam, Tanam and Pallavi. So the role of Mridangist comes only when the Pallavi sings. Right? So what is a Pallavi? Pada Laya Vinyasam. That is Pallavi. Padam Layam Vinyasam. A small lyric will be there, which is having a full meaning. Am I right? A meaning, a short sahitya. Then it will be mixed in the tala, that is layam, and it will be elaborated, that is vinyasam. That is pada laya vinyasam, means Pallavi. See, the Mridanga artist should have a vast experience for accompanying a Ragam, Tanam, Pallavi. Normally, this form, Ragam, Tanam, Pallavi, or other, simply termed as RTP, is used to introduce the rare talas, I think so. We are following in Carnatic music at the 35 tala system. Okay, so in the 35 talas, we are not singing regularly. 4 or 5 talas we are using regularly. So for the introduction of rare talas into the Carnatic music field, the RTP emerges. Okay, so the rare talas are used in Ragandana Pallavi. While accompanying a Ragandana Pallavi, we should follow certain steps. First step is know the nuances and meaning and structure of the Sahityam first. Then create or formulate a phrase, that is which is called a Tattakaram. It's a phrase in Mridangam in accordance with the Sahityam. Then only we can follow like a shadow for the Ragandana Pallavi. That is, the Ragandana Pallavi is normally presents in 3 columns, I think so. Madhyamakalam, slow tempo, mid tempo, and high tempo. Okay, and sometimes it will be making Tishram also. Okay, right. Suppose, for example, I will demonstrate a simple Pallavi. Suppose I'm putting a tala Khanda Chadi Tripuda. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it is 2 kalas. That means we should put 2 times. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 7. So it will come to 18 beats. Am I right? 18 beats. The Pallavi starts after 4 beats. Padamule Gadiyani Nammiti Nila Megha Shama Krishna Ni Padamule Gadiyani Nammiti Nila Megha Shama Krishna Nipa. So, a Mridangist should have the observation. He should know about the structure of Sahitya. For the Pallavi, for the Sahitya, there will be 2 portions, first portion, second portion. And in between these 2 portions, a portion will be called Padagarbham. So, in the Padagarbham, there will be some silent place, which is called Karve. This Karva should be known by the Mridangam artist. Then only you can accompany the. So in this Ni padamule gatiyani nammiti Neelamegha Shyama Krishna ni padamule gatiyani nammiti Takadimitaka. 6 karvas are there. So we should formulate a tatakaram or a phrase in Mridangam. Dim, takita dim, takita dim, takita dim, dim, ta dim, ta dim, ta dim, ta dim, takita dim, takita dim, takita dim. Then we can travel along with the Sahityam. Ni padamule gatiyani nammiti Neelamegha Shyama Krishna 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 ni. We can do anything. Okay, so these are the steps. First of all, the Mridangam artist should know the structure of the Sahitya. When the meaning also known, it is very good. We can improvise, or we can give that type of nuances to the lines. And in between the first portion and the second portion, the structure of first portion, structure of second portion, and in between the Patakarvams. We have observed all this, we can easily follow a RTP.
Okay, so now it's already 7, but just now we got 2-3 queries in the chat box.
Of course.
With your permission and with the permission of Arunji, I'm taking this up. Arunji, can I? Yeah, yes. Okay. Yeah, first one is how to make Abhiprayam and Korve stand out in their respective manner.
This Abhiprayam, this is Abhiprayam it is used in Tamil Mridangam culture. Abhiprayam. When we are Malayalis, we are not using Abhiprayam. Okay? Abhiprayam means a special structure of phrases. That is Abhiprayam. By using that Abhiprayams, we can make some Korves. For example, see, this is an Abhiprayam. We can use this Abhiprayam. We can use this Abhiprayam. By using, we can make a Korva. So we are using so many Abhiprayams while making a Korve. Okay, we are not using as much the word Abhiprayam in Malayalam. Okay, this is my answer.
Yes, sir. Then how can a singer enhance the accompany importance in a concert? Bhagyalakshmi from Guruvayur has asked this question.
Pardon, once more.
How can a singer enhance the accompany importance in a concert? And what are the sources of encouragement you find to present a healthy concert from the singer in a concert?
Oh, right. First of all, there should be a good relation between the singer and the accompanying artist on the stage. Because everybody should think that this is not a competition. This is not a competition. So a healthy atmosphere will create a good concert. And there should not be any ego among the artists. And the main artist should know the merits and demerits of each and every co-performers, even the Upavakawadyam. Okay. For this purpose, we are starting a concert with Varnam. After singing a Varnam, the main artist should be in a position to know the range of the violinist and mridangam artist or garam artist, etc. So we should perform along with the accompanying artist without using difficult ideas. We should know their caliber, and we should do everything to perform their best. That's the main thing. So I think 3 very good artists on the stage will not make a good concert, but 3 artists which is having very good hearts can create a very good concert. I think so.
Yeah, that's an excellent answer, sir. Yeah, I think we can wind up because we have more queries to discuss with you. Definitely, we'll be inviting you on some other for some other sessions, sir.
Okay.
And I would like to express our sincere thanks from the whole team and from Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth for being with us during this for this session. And I wholeheartedly thank all our audience for joining with us. And with the help of our IT team and media team, we are doing all this. And today we have Arunji with us. So I sincerely thank you, Arunji. And our VC, Dean Gauriji has joined with us. Madam always join for all sessions. And extremely thank you for all of you for being here. And as all of you know, this is a continuous series, and the next session will be on 12th of August. And on that day, we have Aarti Ankalikar Tikekar. For Srimati Aarti Ankalikar Tikekar, requesting you to, it will be Hindustani performance, requesting you to be here on August 12th also. Let us conclude with the Shanti Mantram. So please be online. Our media team will be playing a small video immediately after the session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.